Hi, my name is Pierre-Julien and I work with the OMNIKIN company. In this video, I'm going to show you a procedure to disinfect the equipment in a very methodic way in order to make sure that no spots are left forgotten. The first thing is regarding wearing a mask. As you will notice, I'm not wearing one right now because I want to make sure that you hear all of my instructions. But the person who would be proceeding to the disinfection will have to be wearing one. For the hands, you have to make sure that your hands are clean, and if you ever end up touching the equipment at places that still haven't been disinfected yet, you're going to have to make sure to spray a little bit of product on your hand, so that way you don't become a vector of contamination here. I'm going to be using a working plan here, which is going to be a table, and I'm going to be using a liquid spray. What's interesting to know is that the liquid, once on the ball, is going to take a few minutes to dry, between 3 and 7 minutes, depending on the kind of products you are using and the equipment you have chosen, the OMNIKIN equipment you have chosen. If the ball, while still wet, comes in contact with surfaces that have not been disinfected or decontaminated, since there is some liquid left at the surface of the ball, it won't be a very big deal because the presence of this liquid is going to eliminate the virus or the bacteria. Now, if the ball is dry and comes in contact with surfaces that could be contaminated or with other equipment that has been contaminated, the procedure will be to start over again. So, my working plan is right here at this table. I'm going to spray a little bit of the product on top of it so that my ball sits in it. Then I'm going to grab my OMNIKIN 6 by the opening. The opening hasn't been decontaminated yet, so what I'll do, I'll put a little bit of spray and on my hand to make sure that I'm not becoming a vector of contamination here. Then, using the ball by holding it by the opening, I'm going to spray 2 or 3 shots per panel, and then I will be disinfecting with the cloth on the stitches first and then on the inside of the panel. What's interesting to know is that I'm using a microfiber, which is not very absorbent. The idea here with the cloth is not to absorb the surplus or the extra amount of product that is on the ball, but just to make sure of its uniform spreading on the surface of it. There we go. Stitches, stitches, inside of the ball, stitches, stitches, inside of the ball. Now, I'm going to flip the ball around, and I'm going to do the same procedure here. Stitch, stitches, inside of the panel, stitches, stitches, inside of the panel, and finally, that last part of it. So I'm going to stitches, stitches, inside of the panel, stitches, stitches, inside of the panel. Now, since I want to make sure that the opening is really, really nicely disinfected, I'm just going to go and use the cloth inside. And that's it. The ball can be left on the side to dry, and it should be ready to play with within 3 to 7 minutes, depending on how long it's going to take to dry. Now, enjoy